started. Why we speak about garbage or household waste? What are household waste? It's all waste that are produced by people. So by you and me, my family, your family, not industrial waste. This is that waste that every day you generate in your households, in your houses, yeah. That they called household waste, or in some restaurants, cafes, shops, little shops. That is why maybe you have seen such pictures not only in our Kharkov, my city. It's in many regions, in many countries. You can see a cope of garbage, waste, trash that are laying near houses, in forests, in different near recreation zones. What about producing? How many household waste have you produced, or will your country produce? It first depends on culture of your country, on traditionals of your country, even on religion in your country. Because, for example, if it's forbidden to drink alcohol in some countries, they will not produce a lot of glass bottles under these drinks. Yes, you understand. If it's something is forbidden for eating, there will be not such kind of waste in this country. Yeah, but everybody produce some typical waste. For example, plastic waste, paper waste, some food waste. How many we produce? In Ukraine, we produce 250 or 300 kilograms of household waste in a year for one person. This number of the total amount of household waste is different from countries to countries, because it depends also from have you a sorting system, yeah. Do you sort waste in your country? If you sort, if you reuse and recycle household waste, you produce less than 250 kilograms one a year. In Ukraine, most of household waste goes to the dumps. Maybe only 3% or even less recycled, and 3% is burned. Switzerland is one of the most good country looking for the household waste. They have no dumps. All their trash, all their household waste, they recycle and burn. For recycling, you need to sort. You need to separate household waste from different categories, from different kinds of it. Yeah. The most common sorting is for such categories that you can see. It is paper, cardboard, wood, glass, organic or food waste, scrap metal, plastics, textile. You have maybe see such as in this picture, yeah. Devices like for household waste sorting. In Kharkov, it's special for plastic bottles and for other kinds of sorting. But in Ukraine, in some territories, we have wide system of sorting, and you can throw away paper, as usually paper, glass, organic waste, and plastics. So it will be different, a lot more cans here for more containers for different kinds of household waste. Why it's important, or if we throw away only for dams, our household waste, it's very important to know how long does it take to decompose. Without decomposing, in nature, all living organisms, after their death, they decomposed by different bacteria, so-called decomposers. Yeah, we know that some kinds of our waste also can be decomposed. They can be decomposed by bacteria or uh, from impact of climate. We have no bacteria for decomposing plastic materials. We have no bacteria or mushrooms, for example, for decomposing of metal. But some of kinds of our waste can be decomposed, and the territories that occupied by dams without decomposing some materials will occupy half of your country. If some materials are decomposed, the total amount of waste on dams decrease, and you haven't occupy a lot of big territory by dams. A lot of organic materials like banana peels or orange peels, coil for apple, it takes from 2-3 weeks to 6 months to decompose them because they are like nature. Yeah, paper bags and newspaper, cardboards needs from 1 month to 2 months for decomposers. They also like part of nature. Yeah, woolen socks, if they are really making from woolen, will decompose in 5 years. If they make modern socks are not woolen, they can be made from cotton. It also takes for 5 years to decompose, but a lot of socks are making from polymer materials, polymer fibers that they cannot be decomposed even in 100 years. Bats, shoes, and disposal glass. Yeah, even laser shoes, natural laser. It takes for 15 years to decompose them. Cigarette butts, 12 years, and disposable glasses, they are very widespread for using for, and we use them for one time. Yes, we only drink water, coffee, tea in some different cafes and coffee to go. Yeah, and then we throw away it. Today, in Europe and in United States of America, such disposable polymer glass, they changed for paper glass. But paper glass also took some time for decompose. Maybe the best solution is to use your own cup for drinking coffee, tea, some other
Ma'am,
drinks outside.
ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, why do tires take 80 years to decompose?
Why it takes a lot of years? Because it makes from plastic. Plastic is very like strong material. Yeah. There are no any bacteria, any mushrooms who can decompose them in nature. It will be broken from little size pieces, yeah, with little size for more than 50 years. It's not natural material. It's material that we synthesize from oil. It's not only the first, maybe it's not our winner. Some other products decompose in more years. You will see next time. Tire, it takes for 40 years. Plastic containers as disposable glass from 50 to 80 years. And such package like Tetra Pak, it consists of 5 different materials. It consists of 5 layers. One of this layer is cardboard. Cardboard, it takes 2 months or maybe 1 year for decompose. But other layers like aluminum film and the plastic film, it takes 400 years to decompose it. And you can see our winners. So that materials that cannot be decomposed in human frame, yeah, in human's life frame, because aluminum cans, it takes for 50 or 500 years to decompose. PET bottles, the same, yes, situation. Dippers, and polyethylene bags, also from 500 years to 1000 years. It may be very interesting things for future archaeologists who will discover them in 2000 years after our living years, like we dug ancient settlements of people and find out some dishes making from metal or some other materials from glass, yes, and ancient things that we study history. Maybe after us, some new people will, or new civilization also will discover how we lived, finding such PET bottles, dippers, or cans. Cans, PET bottles, and polyethylene bags can be recycled. So you don't need to supply them for the dumps. You can recycle it. You can use them several times. And so you can reduce their supply, the total amount of their supply for the dams. But the first you need for decrease, for reducing total amount of waste in dams is to sort, yeah, to separate waste from your garbage. You should separate different types of kind of materials that can be recycled. For example, glass, yeah. In Switzerland, glass is separated and sorted by colors in 3 different containers. Glass and aluminium can be melt. You can melt them and make new objects. It can be making for many times. Anytime you need, you can melt glass and melt aluminium and make new objects. You need only energy. And if your country is rich in oil, gas, for example, and you produce a lot of cheap energy, it's a good solution for you to melt metal and glass to make new glass bottles, for example, or for some dishes. Or from aluminum cans, you can melt them and make bike elements of bike or any other elements for cars, yeah. But in many other countries where there is not enough energy, yeah, or it's very expensive energy, they prefer not to melt. They prefer use such materials several times. For example, you can wash this bottle, yeah, and if it is good quality of it's good after washing, you can use it for several times. For example, for 8 times to sell some drinks in such bottles. Also in Switzerland, cardboards come to different containers. Batteries, yeah. In Krakow we have also such. Before we have start a project for gathering, for sorting batteries and other toxic elements of household waste. For special containers, they will standing in all parts of Krakow because they're very toxic when it comes to the dam. Also, PET bottles and PET containers comes to the separate special buckets, and it's like a joke. what to do in Switzerland with tea bag. If you have drink tea from tea bag, then you should separate it for 5 categories. You cannot throw away it in one container. You should separate tea, label, clip, thread, and paper bags. They must be going to the different containers. So in Switzerland, they prefer to drink tea not from tea bags. Its information was about how much does it cost in Ukraine. I know that in Egypt, it's a whole district or region in Cairo, in the capital of Egypt, where people live, where people gather trash, separate them, and then sell it. Big families, like the business of these families is on sorting garbage. They separate different objects for colors, for materials, and then sell them for those who can, for those enterprises who recycle them. In Ukraine, it was a very difficult process of business to make it, but it has started. Last 10 years, more and more enterprises appeared to produce different new materials from so-called garbage, yeah, from household waste. The first, it was also paper, because you need old paper to produce new paper. It's a technology for paper production, that to make new white paper, you should use more than 30% of old paper. 30% and more. More you use old paper, more you save new trees. You shouldn't cut. Yeah, we know that paper produced from trees, and cutting the trees, it's deforestation. It's one of the most global ecological problem. We discussed it. More you use paper, more safe forests, trees you can, and also you save your money, because it's not very expensive for old paper, old cardboard. They're not very expensive when you buy them. They're cheaper than trees. How to reduce the volumes of plastics on landfills? Plastics takes in all countries, yeah, it takes from 10% to 30% of all household waste. It comes to the plastics. Maybe the best solution, it is ban on sales on plastic bags. From 10 December 2021 in Ukraine, it is forbidden to give without paying plastic bags in shops. You should pay for them from 10 kopiek to 50 kopiek. It's not maybe not very expensive for us, but it's the first step, because when in shop they give you plastic bags without payment, you will not take some containers or some your own bags from the house, from the home. And when you should pay for them, it's the first step to stimulate you not to use them. The second step will be ban for any plastic bags in mass markets in Ukraine. It must be started from the 1st of March, but as it's war in our country, it will start in another time. Yeah, but today all bags are with payment. They're not without any payment in our mass market. Double packing. Maybe when you it's really a problem, not for all countries. But in Ukraine, it was a really big problems when you buy, for example, milk in polyethylene bags, and at cashboard they help you and package it in another plastic bags. How also is what to do? Yeah, it is stimulate people to take from the home shopping bags, and stimulate fabric shopping bags for coming to the stores and for storage. Yeah, so it's another way how to ban plastic. What about charity and garbage? Charity and garbage in Krakow 3 years ago and 2 years ago, it was charity action, charity meetings, charity no, like it's what like it was it takes several months, so it not was in one day. What was the main idea of this charity organization? That people can give for this charity organization, they give for them their household waste that was sorted: paper, plastic, glass, metal. They were separated. Then this charity organization sell it, and they have buying medicines and equipments for children in children's hospitals. So it was an idea how to show people how they can make money from garbage. It was really maybe it was the first in Ukraine, but such meetings are very popular in Europe when they choose, and they also start their culture and traditional to sort from such like events or meetings when they show people how garbage can become money. Also, I know that in school where my oldest son is studying, they get a paper for a year, old paper, then they sell it, and they buy equipment for sports for the school. It was tennis tables for tennis. They're rather expensive, and also balls for basketballs. And one school show other schools how garbage from pupils, students, teachers can also solve the problem, can become a money. What else can it's like for your enjoying what you can make from example from the bottles. Such objects, such bird is really was made in Ukraine in kindergarten, but not in Krakow. Other elements are from elephant is from Asia, and giraffes it was made in Europe, in some country of Europe. Why batteries at dams and landfills? Why they are very toxic and dangerous? You can see different types of batteries, so they contain different toxic materials. Yeah, it can be cobalt, it can be nickel, and lead. Some of them contains so-called heavy metals, cobalt and lead. Some of them contains not heavy metals but elements that are also toxic. This shows you corrosion, because all outside of batteries are making from metal top or metal cover. It takes from 1 year to 10 years for water to destroy it. It becomes the corrosion of such batteries. After its corrosion, all dangerous materials, all toxic materials come to the water or to the ground. It was calling in Ukraine better recycling saves our hedgehogs, because when you throw away only one battery, this battery can be the reason of one hedgehog's death, or of pollution, 400 liters water. That is why it was the first. It started 10 years ago also, not to throw away batteries with household waste, but gather in special containers. In Ukraine, we have no factory or enterprises who can really recycle or to make something with such batteries. So we gather them in Ukraine and supply to factory in Romania. In many countries, you have no business or enterprises who can recycle these batteries. So you can only gather them in one place, and they pay money for other countries who can recycle them. It's tested was for schools. That is why that is what about that it was about what about household waste and what to do with them. I will stop our recording.